Welcome, welcome, welcome to this edition of Sagionic 1027. We are so glad you've decided to join our broadcast today. And with us, I have an exceptional guest. Her name is Caroline Guerra. And for all the Spanish-speaking people out there, it's okay. I'm going to say it the white way. Anyways, so Carolyn is what you call probably the second she slid out of the birth canal. She had plans, ideals, and thoughts on how to have businesses, how to always be doing something different. I guarantee you the woman was never in a project for a week. Because so parents, we need to be mindful of this because we're going to listen to how this business came to be, right? But you have to remember there's creatives out there, right? Then you got the people with the admin skills, that have the repetitious skill sets, right? Then you got the people who've got the motor skills who are always in some kind of Olympic, activity. But then you got the creative minds, and the creative minds go like this all the time. And it's not a bad thing. And so we can't say, Johnny, sit in one space. Johnny, sit in one space. When Johnny's mind can't sit in one space because he wasn't created to think that way. So Caroline, our program today is about the entrepreneurial mind that is inside of you. And how can you share yourself while also helping others to identify that they too have the same thing?
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I am so honored to be on this program show, like chat. Shawn is so dear to me, and I hope that you know how dear to my heart you are. I know God brought you to our lives at the specific time that we needed you, and you have been such a blessing to me personally and my family. Um, so thank you for having me on this your program, and I know that it's a blessing to my life, and I pray that I'm a blessing to others. So where do I start? What do
I want you to go
I?
back. Okay,
Okay,
you didn't just wake up a week ago and say, we should do something that's business minded. That didn't just happen a week ago. Because by
okay. Well,
you,
it's funny because a lot of the time that is exactly how it starts in my mind. And
yeah.
if you ask me, I don't personally think I'm creative, and I've told that to my husband and my mom, and because there's things creative for me is like I have a friend who does these beautiful balloon garlands, and I'm like blown away with her creativity, and I'm like, wow, she is like, give her a piece of paper and she will create something out of that.
Okay.
And I don't see myself like that, but here's the thing. I'm a mom of three beautiful girls, and I stay home. Um, my husband works full time, so we were coming from like a two income household, and then we switched to one. So right off the bat, we had some adjustments, right? And then we had the pandemic, and then we've been trying to like work our way through this life now with three kids and a dog. So it's a lot, but um, I'm not the kind of person that just sits and does nothing. It's just not my personality. It's just not who I was born to be. So I run a few different things. My goal is to be able to have something that is always coming in that I enjoy doing. That one day I can pass down to my kids. And besides the ministry, because I mean that's a whole different side of my life that I also am devoted to. Um, we started out with literally hand making bracelets with my daughter. And like you say, one day we were walking the mall, and she saw a bracelet that she liked, and she said, "Mom, I can make this." And I said, "Yeah, you can." She had just gotten gifted like this little bead, like a little bead hat. And she said, "I have these beads at home with these letters." It was my oldest. At that time, she was maybe six. And we came home and we started making some. And she said, "What if I sell these for money?" And I'm like, "Yes, let's do it." And from that night, I think we made about 20 bracelets, just like little kid bracelets.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy, nothing
Yeah.
extravagant, nothing fancy, just little kid bracelets that she kind of started selling here and there. And then we escalated to opening an Etsy shop. And
Okay.
then, um, so then she was very enthusiastic about helping me, and then that kind of dwindled a little bit. But I really enjoyed putting these bracelets together. So I opened up an Etsy account, I opened up an Instagram account, and since then, yes, a lot of times she comes up with these ideas, and I just go buy. I'll buy beads and show her what we have, and then
Okay.
we put something together, and then we sell it. So everything we make, I brought some of my favorite ones that we've
Okay.
created, and we've kind of up the quality of the bead.
Okay.
So here, like, I don't know if you can see it, but I'm using like the Dalmatian stone beads, and
Oh,
here is some
yes.
pink rose quartz, like
Okay.
the
Okay.
stone.
Yeah.
So, and then I try to emphasize in that we can personalize and custom make what you want. So
Okay.
somebody last time asked me like, why do I send out? And I said, well, I love Target, and you can go to Target and buy a gold bracelet, and 25 other people are going to have that same bracelet. But if you order from us, you can have your own kid's name, dog's name, parent's name, whatever you want it to be, and it's going to be customized to what you want. So we've been pretty successful. It does take a lot of time and a lot of effort to kind of create that creativity side, that I have to kind of be thinking constantly, looking at different other designs in the stores at Target, and then trying to, tweak it to how it represents us.
Uh
So,
huh.
but it's been fun. Like we made these. One of my cousins asked if we could do a Disney one, and she sent me an inspiration. So we came out with these little Disney, like mini Mickey ears. They're
Oh.
colorful, and they're just so fun. So we have a little bit of everything. And again, I had somebody, one of my friends is a police wife, and she sent me an inspiration photo, and she's like, "Can you do this for me?" And right away, I picked up some beads that were similar. I put it together, and we made it
And
happen.
so do you mean your friend that's my friend that I'm trying to get to interview? That friend?
Yes, I think that's the same friend. She also runs a few different things, so she's a lot like me, I feel. So she probably has a lot going on,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
get here. She'll get here.
yeah, yeah.
And then, so if that wasn't enough, one day I was looking online. I saw one of somebody I follow get a forever bracelet, and I thought that was so cool, something that you just have on you forever.
Yeah.
And I thought I would love to do that with my mom. So I went online and I looked for something like that here in Portland, and there was absolutely nothing around. So I started seeing like what was the process for this, and how it's like a new trend that's
Okay.
just coming around. It's very big in Texas and Arizona and California, but it's like making its way over here to Portland. And I reached out to my sister-in-law because she's very good with all the little dainty things. Like she has a lot of patience.
Okay.
I feel like I don't. Um, so I told her, I said, "Hey, have you heard of this forever permanent jewelry?" And she's like, "Well, no." So I sent her all the information I have, and she's like, "Oh yeah, we should get one." And so then I said, "Well, what if we do our own thing and we open our own little side gig?" And she right away said, "I'm on board." So that was a lot of like trial and error, because it wasn't as quick and as easy as we would have liked in the beginning. But it is another little side gig that we're currently trying to, like, launch. We launched it about maybe 3 months ago now. And so far, like everything, right? It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of dedication. On top of me being a mom, and then associate pastor, and then wife, and everything else that goes in between. And she's a full time student, also works full time, pregnant, mom, wife, all of that. So when we have that extra time is when we're trying to like make other things work.
Yep.
So, but that's been fun because it's new. So everybody is attracted to what's new and trending. So we're really trying to take advantage of that. And literally what it is, I have some on here. I'll promote, I'll show.
Okay.
Um, we use a 14K gold fill chain and sterling silver. I don't know if you can see it. It's pretty tiny. But
Okay.
we
Okay.
we also customize the size to your wrist. We do necklaces and we do anklets, and then we weld it onto you. So it will be on you forever. I've had these for about a few months already, and they're still on. And I go to the gym. I have, my kids haven't ripped it off yet. So I mean, they're on there pretty well. And if you do need to cut it off, you just literally you can just grab
Yeah.
some cutters
Yeah.
and cut it
Yeah.
off. But I often encourage people to just try,
That's
like
right. That's right.
just try.
Because I remember, so you had done something where you were doing these special food boxes for Mother's Day, right? You put
Yes,
that out there, and I'm like, Shh, I'm on that. I'll do that. And it was
yes,
something special for my daughter. It was either Mother's Day
yes.
or Valentine's Day. One of the
Valentine.
Valentine's Day. But it's like, oh yes, I'll do it for my daughter because you think of this, there's always something new that's going to happen. And in my personal brain, there's no competition ever. Why? Because there's only one Carolyn and there's only
Right.
one Shawn. So you're
Yes.
going to only come up with something that's perfect for where how your brain thinks, right? And if
Right.
even if we think of it like if we think of Mary Kay, Tupperware, Avon, right?
Right.
All these other things but it's because one person decided to move out with a thought.
Exactly. And I mean, God. Oh, I feel like God's always. I always pray for grace and favor whenever I decide to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks ago, I made a batch of cookies for ourselves, like for me at home, because I wanted some, and they were so good. They were like the best cookies I have ever made, and so what do? I had my husband to taste them because he will for sure tell me, don't even try. Like don't even try to sell this. This is not good. Uh, or he'll be like, yes, like let's do this. How many are we making? So he was like, yeah, these are really good. So what did I do? I posted on Instagram homemade chocolate butterscotch chip cookies, and I was selling them for $12 a dozen, which I don't think is outrageous. I mean, I paid more for homemade cookies,
Uh-huh.
um, and people started sending in their orders. Now, before I posted that, I did pray because I pray for everything. Like, Lord, you know my need. I know you will provide, and I know you're going to give me the grace and the favor to complete what I need at this moment. And
That's
and it worked. So I have a few more orders for this week of Christmas. Do I see myself selling cookies the rest of my life? No, I don't. I knew it was just going to be a temporary thing. Um, but again, because I'm not good at just sitting around and waiting. Like, okay, like sometimes I feel like God has given me just these skills to do, and if I'm able to, then I do. So one of the days my kids come home from school and they're like, "Mom," I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm selling cookies now." And Annabelle, my oldest, is like, "We're selling cookies now? Okay." Like nothing new to her. So I sent some out to their friends and I'm like, "Take these to your friends. These will be the testers. And if
okay.
they want some, they can tell their mom to send me an order." And sure enough, a few of the moms, "Hey, my kid came home with these cookies. They're so good. Can I place an order?" And it's just it works. It works. But I always encourage people to try. I have like the friend with the balloon garland. She has such a good talent. I'm like, just try. Like I feel like it doesn't hurt. The worst that can happen is you practice, you invest, and then all right, well, you learn. But with the food boxes, I mean, I feel like we tried that out for a little bit, and it just there's some things that you just know this takes too much time, or this
Uh-huh.
this is just not adding up to what I want to charge and how much I'm investing, or and then nowadays with social media, you have to be like constantly selling yourself. And obviously, like right now for Christmas, I haven't really been on like this page with my handmade bracelets on there. And yeah, I haven't maybe sold as much as I would like, but I know that I'm not putting in the effort or the work. So
Uh-huh.
what am I expecting, right? But
Yeah, yeah.
you won't know until you try.
That's right. Okay, and the visual that I see is I see like, have you ever seen a cartoon where there's a dog and he's prancing through a field and he's chasing a butterfly, right?
Yeah,
And he just comes across, he keeps coming across new terrain, right? Well,
yeah,
think of this. If your child was to sit down and do a painting, just first time they decided to try to do a letter, of course it's not going to be in the lines, right?
right.
But if your child sat down to do this, you're going to be great. You're going to, oh gosh, that's so good. Good job, right? Well,
Yeah,
there's a verse and it says, if your earthly father knows how to give good gifts,
right.
how much more does your father in heaven, right?
Yeah,
So we're his gift. So when
yeah,
we're functioning in our giftings, it is
yeah,
like he's like this beaming Papa God,
yeah.
because come on, when you're in your creative realm, are you not happy? Do you
Right.
not have different endorphins flying
Yeah,
through your body of excitability?
right.
Right? So
Absolutely.
there's so much more mental energy flowing than, I won't say anything about certain TV stations and, sharing certain fantasy type things, but gosh, that can be beneficial to a woman's brain.
Right, right. No, I definitely agree with. Sometimes my husband will be like, because a lot of times when I work on, especially the handmade bracelets, it's after my kids go to bed
Yeah.
because there's no way I'm getting beads out with my toddler
Yeah.
around. So I have to wait until they go to bed to be able to be productive. So a lot, and that sometimes buys into the time that I have with my husband. So really, it's about knowing what you can do and then managing what you can do. So
Yes.
I, as a mom, I know that my priority is being a mom, serving my family and serving my children.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's such a blessing to be able to be home with them. And
Yes.
so I try. I know I'm not perfect, and I know the laundry pile will prove it, but I try to have everything in order at home with them. What they need, what they want, feeding them, what all of that entails. And then this is all extra stuff. Um,
Yeah.
in between. And my other priority is our ministry is sharing Jesus. So my family, ministry, and then comes all of this. And I feel like sometimes people try, but they don't have the priorities straight. And like the Bible says, seek first his kingdom, and then everything else will be added on. And I feel like I have tried truly to imply that. I
Uh-huh.
One of the things that we agreed with my sister-in-law with the forever jewelry is number one, that we wouldn't let it come between her and I, because her relationship with me is far more important than money. And
That's right.
the other thing is we wouldn't let it come over our events and over ministry things, because she's a youth pastor, I'm an associate pastor, and although there's been already events that we know, man, if we took this, we would be banking it right now. We had to say, you know what, we can't, because we have this prior commitment. And
Yeah.
I do feel like God honors us, God honors me, putting his work first. And I do take advantage as I'm doing the bracelets on the people. I do pray for them. Lord, like that, that they may feel your peace, your love, like, um, and everything. Even when I'm making these bracelets, sometimes they tell me who it's for or why. I pray, bless these kids, bless this grandma, bless this mom. It's just, I think, my nature as well. So
Yeah.
if you have a creative side or something, just try. Just pray for grace, for favor, and try. And I am always open to I don't know, making money on the side. So it's always exciting for me.
And maybe, okay, so here's a new thing, okay? Perhaps you could be a coach to someone who just wants to bounce ideals off of that you can fuel into them, that you could say, "Yay, you could do this." right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so attached to this video will be contact information as how people
Yes.
can get a hold of Carolyn. She is a delightful woman, not sometimes, but always, right? Now, are we all perfect? No, but she is a delightful woman since day one of meeting her. I've had many encounters with her. And I thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule today to pop on today. And you have about 60 seconds. I want you to give three starters for
Okay.
somebody that can grab a hold of a vision. Give three starters. What can they do? One, two, three.
Okay. Know what you want to do. If
Okay.
you okay, um, write it down. On physical paper, not on your phone. I'm old school. I have little notepads that I even write to-do lists on there. Yes,
Here's my
like that.
calendar.
Yes, it makes a difference. Something about crossing it
Yes.
off, it just makes a difference. And then the third one, find someone who's going to support you.
Yes.
I think I have a lot of supporters around me. If it's not my husband, it's my mom, and she's like, "Do it, go!"
Yeah.
Like, my parents, and it makes a difference when you are in that environment of somebody who's going to say, "Okay, well, let's see what happens. Like, try." I can be that support for many people. So I would love that if somebody has an idea or you're just not sure. Sometimes just sharing it with somebody, having those fresh eyes and say, okay, well, have you thought about this way or that way, or have you not thought about this? Like, what would happen here? And it just kind of, stimulates your mind a little bit to get out
That's
there.
right. That's right. That's so good. That is so good. So, like I said, I'll have our contact information in this YouTube video. We thank you for your time, and I look forward as the years go by to interview you some more because I
Yes,
know as time goes by, your visions are just going to get bigger and project and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger
yes,
and bigger because we were created to do that. We were created to advance.
yes.
So, for all of our viewers who came on today, I just want to thank you for coming to this episode of Sagionic 1027. Until our next episode, may the Lord bless you, may the Lord keep you, may the Lord make his face to shine upon me. Blessings. Bye. Got you on your time.
Yes, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.